What's going on, guys? Dylan Conrad, episode 3 of the Metabolic Mama podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, subscribe. If you're listening to this on Spotify, iTunes, please like and subscribe. It all helps the algorithm. My goal is to find more metabolic mamas like you who just want to live a healthier, leaner, more awesome life. So I want to talk to you guys today about why your workouts are killing your results. This is both physiologically. My dog's whining. What's going on? It's raining outside in LA. Like, what is going on here? But I'm gonna talk to you guys from a physiological perspective and a psychological perspective why your workouts are killing your results. Most moms come in and they are either trying or doing a workout routine that worked really well for them in their teens or 20s. And typically working out 5 to 6 times a week for 45 minutes to an hour and starving yourself, especially now, is not going to be the best fit for you with your current lifestyle, metabolism, and hormonal change. So if we're looking at working out, there's a minimum effective dose, right? That's what I talk to all our clients about. We want to find what is the least amount of effort that we can actually do to see a result. And there's a law of diminishing returns. So you're going to be basically, if you go above a certain threshold, you're going to have diminishing returns in terms of your results, right? Less fat loss, less feeling of health, less energy, just feeling like crap. And if you are training super hard, it can lead a lot of times to what's called overtraining. And what overtraining is, and it's a continuum, right? It's not black or white. It's not you're overtraining or not overtraining. There are degrees of overtraining, right? And so symptoms are, if you're having unusual soreness after a workout, which continues to persist with your continued training. If you're not able to train, or if you're using a certain weight on a machine, you're not able to hit that every single time at the previously maintained level. You have like leg muscles that just feel really heavy, even at like low exercise intensities. Like if you're doing a squat, your legs just feel like you can't like lift yourself up. Delays in recovery from training, so where you just feel like crap every single training routine, and performance plateaus. So like I was talking about, the weight's not going up as much. You're just not feeling like you're not being able to do the same that you were able to do the previous week, or less, right? And so that's the physiological symptoms of overtraining. And obviously this can be to certain degrees. You can see a slight decline or plateau with whatever you're doing in terms of your exercise. And then you can see like a dramatic one, right? So these are all continuum, and it's day to day, week to week. What exercise does when you do exercise, it causes inflammation, right? Acute inflammation isn't the devil. It's actually a good thing. You need it, right? It's chronic inflammation that you want to stay away from. That's where, physiological processes that are responsible for your metabolism, your hormones really get negatively affected. Buddy, sorry if you hear my dog whining. He's continually whining. But you don't want chronic inflammation, and you don't want a certain degree of inflammation, right? So when we're overtraining or we're training too much, you're going to get inflammation constantly, right? And as a mom who's stressed out to the bone, stress causes inflammation, lack of sleep causes inflammation. If you're comfort eating certain foods, whatever you're eating, processed food, whatever it is, too much of that can cause a lot of inflammation. And there's a lot of lifestyle factors that having a child will create inflammation, and a lot of inflammation already. So it already puts you at a predisposition to be overtraining right off the bat, right? With everything you have, all these inflammatory signals that are going on, just as a mom. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about, because everyone's like, oh, calories in, calories out, right? And yes, you do need to be in a calorie deficit to lose body fat. But what this doesn't cover, and I talk about this all the time, and it drives me nuts, is the calories in, calories out model. Yes, it's true. You need to be in a deficit to lose body fat. But what if your metabolism is already so slow that going any deeper into a deficit will make you devoid of certain nutrients? If your metabolism as a woman is at 1,200 calories, right? That's how much you're burning per day. and that's what you're consuming, what do? You go to 800 calories now. That's like way too little, and it's going to further decrease your metabolism. So the CICO model is great, but it definitely has a shortcoming, and that's why we do a lot of reverse dieting with our clients, especially our moms, that to build their metabolism back up. So cortisol is another thing that we get from exercise, right? You raise exercise. When you exercise, you have an increase in cortisol right after, which is weird, right? Because cortisol is the stress hormone responsible for slowing down everything and also having you store more body fat. It's like it's a stress hormone. It's not good, right? You want a little bit, but obviously when you get too much, that's when we start seeing the effects. But you have it pretty high after you exercise, and that's why a lot of people right after they exercise, their immune system's compromised and they get sick, right? So if you are, if you're having too little or too much cortisol, they can both have the same effect in terms of holding body fat, making you feel like crap. So that's something you also want to look at when you're talking about your exercise and your workouts. There's also a lot of psychological aspects that will contribute to you not seeing results with your workouts. And I was talking in the beginning that, the normal mom model, when they come in, is like they want to work out as hard as possible, they basically starve themselves. And that's the last thing you want to do when you're trying to lose body fat. But it kind of perpetuates this all in, all out mentality, right? And it's already super hard being a mom. You add a super hard, starving yourself, and that's hard. And then you add that to super hard training. It's not if, it's when you're going to fall off, right? It's not a sustainable model. And so it kind of perpetuates this all in. I'm good or I'm bad. I'm on or I'm off. I'm doing this or I'm not doing this. And it doesn't create any sustainability. So it creates like Monday through Thursday, training really hard, eating clean. And then Friday through Sunday, just go on YOLO because you feel so exhausted, so restricted, and so nutrient devoid that you're just like, I need everything. And you just eat everything and you end up in the same exact spot or even worse. And so that's why it's so important to make sure that not only are you recovering well, right, in terms of like, recovery techniques, baths, contrast showers, things that are going to put you, guided meditation, things that are going to put you in a parasympathetic nervous system response. But it's also important to make a sustainable workout routine, right? And that, or doing an hour a day 5 times a week is not, and then like if you have to commute to a gym on top of that, like that is not a sustainable solution, right? And so what do I do instead? Right? I shouldn't be working out 5 times per week, super hard. Well, what should I be doing instead? And obviously that's going to depend on each specific person and what that minimum effective dose is. But 3 times per week, and the best thing for a mom to do is actually strength training, because it's going to be the best for your hormonal profile, really help balance out estrogen, testosterone, decrease cortisol, really help you get your metabolism and your hormones back optimally. And so, less is more, right? So 3 times a week, 45 minutes of strength training. Make sure you're taking a lot. Don't turn your strength training into a HIIT session where you're not resting between sets, like you're taking a good amount of sets. I know women hear strength training sometimes, they think, oh, I'm going to bulk up. And yeah, women can build muscle mass. It takes a shitload of time. It takes probably like a year to build like a pound of lean tissue, and that's like actually really trying. When women typically bulk up, that's when they're not losing any body fat, or they're gaining body fat and putting on a little bit of muscle, because obviously you're going to have water retention with the muscle and all that other stuff that comes along with it. So you're going to feel bulkier, you're going to feel bigger, but you are getting bigger, right? So as long as you are losing body fat and you're on a solid nutrition and training model, you will not have that bulky look, right? In fact, the biggest thing we see is when we cut our clients all the way down, our women, and they get super lean, they look like, whoa, I look like I think have no muscle. And so now we have to build muscle. And so if you think that you are in a place where you're like, oh, I'm bulky, I just hold a lot of muscle, I challenge you to get to like really low body fat percentage first and then assess that. Because 9 times out of 10, it's not the case. So that's the psychological reason. And what should you do instead, right, is strength training 3 times a week I love. And also just like walking. Walking is your best friend. It is the most underrated exercise out there. You can do it while you're watching your kids. If you're at a playground, you're just getting more steps in. It's something you could do with the family. It's something that doesn't require a lot of effort in getting ready for it. You could just walk out the door and go, right? And it's easy. There's, it's pretty simple, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go for walks. Like, that's pretty easy. Like, I can do that, right? It feels sustainable. It feels like you can walk indefinitely because you have to. And so walking is going to decrease your cortisol. It's going to be more calories out, and it's really going to help you regulate your metabolism and your hormones. It's so underrated. What I like to do for our clients is not go from 0 to 60, because if you go 0 to 10,000 steps right away, you are going to fail. It's going to be way too much, right? And so don't go 0 to 60. Be smart about it. Create a model that's going to be sustainable and progresses as you progress. But this walking is going to be fantastic for you, right? And just creating that habit. Your workouts, if you're trying to train 5 times a week, and sometimes even our client, like my leanest client, is just walks and that's it, no strength training. So like, if you don't want to do strength training, you don't have to do strength training, but definitely walk, right? But having more things to do, like if you're going to the gym and it's like 5 times a week and you have to commute there and back, and you're already a mom, right? Your to-do list is longer than the Constitution, and you have to do stuff every single freaking day, and adding another thing to do, like work out, is going to add to that list. And so when you can't get that list done, then you get frustrated, then you start lashing out, then we get pissed, and then we feel like a failure. We feel like we shame ourselves, like, I'm not a good mom, I can't get this done, like, what's wrong with me, right? And then you just start over, have a huge to-do list. So the goal is like, how can we take things off of your to-do list? And working out, having to go to the gym, having to do a hardcore workout is gonna be another thing on your to-do list that you're dreading that you don't wanna do, right? And so taking that off, totally fine. If you actually enjoy it, you like it, go for it. And it's realistic. Maybe you have help. I don't know what your current living situation is. Yeah, go for it for sure. But it's not necessary, right? It's just time that you don't have, right? So how to get back to your time, easy way, just create a simple model for yourself that is progressible each week, and calendar it out, right? Have a protected time that the kids are asleep or no one's awake yet, or everyone's asleep, whatever it is, sometime in your day that you can block off and you can just have to yourself to either walk or just meditate or work on recovery systems, because the more time that you put back into your cup, the faster it's going to expedite your results, right? Because you're going to be more chill, you're going to be more relaxed, you're going to have lower cortisol, and you're going to have a higher metabolism, more optimal hormones. So that's why working out is killing your results and what you should do instead. I hope this was helpful. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're watching this on Spotify, listening to this on Spotify or iTunes, please like and subscribe. All helps the algorithm. The goal is to help more people just like you. And yeah, that's the rest of my spiel. Love y'all. Have a great rest of your day.